안녕하세요. 안정현입니다. Welcome to Let's Speak Korean. Today is our 6th day together. I hope you've been finding all the expressions that we learned so far useful. As always, let me introduce Scott and Christine to you. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. Scott입니다. Nice to see you again.
안녕하세요. Christine입니다. Always a pleasure to be here.
Do you guys remember everything we learned so far? Christine, you want to give us one expression that you remember off the top of your head?
Sure. How about check입니다?
Good. That's the very first expression we learned on Let's Speak Korean. What about you, Scott?
How about 그분이 누구입니까?
And that's the most recent expression that we learned on Let's Speak Korean. I'm sure all of you at home is saying, I remember that. Well, so let's get on to today's lesson. Now, Scott's been helping us out with the day's key expressions. What do you have planned for us today, Scott?
Well, this one I went to my friend's birthday party. Got invited to my Korean friend's birthday party, so had a pretty good time.
Friend's birthday party, huh?
Right.
Can't wait to see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at what Scott's been up to. And as always, listen out for that sound, because when you hear that sound, that's today's lesson.
Got invited to a party today, but not having much luck picking out the right time. Plus, it's an important party, so I want to make a good impression. Oops, it's getting late. Guess I better hurry up and pick out the time. Hey! Okay. Let's try this one. Yeah. There's a good roommate. Gotta meet a good friend today.
그 친구 이름이 무엇입니까?
그 친구 이름이 무엇입니까?
이미영입니다.
이미영입니다.
Hello, ladies.
Hi, Scott.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
친구 이름이 무엇입니까?
친구 이름이 무엇입니까?
김수미입니다.
김수미입니다.
Been looking forward to today for quite a while. I get a chance to have dinner with two lovely ladies. Hope my tie looks okay.
Hey, Scott spent quite a lot of time trying to look good, didn't he? Well, Scott, do you have a girlfriend yet?
No, all that time spent looking good and it still didn't work.
Oh, no. What do you think about Korean women, though?
Now that is a loaded question. We'll not answer that at this
That's
time.
your answer? Okay. Now, Christine, you haven't been in Korea that long. What do you think about Korean men?
Well, generally speaking, they're quite friendly. Yeah, I've made some really good friends.
Koreans may not be as outgoing as Americans, but once you make friends with them, they're your best friends forever. Now, let's move on. There was an expression in the scene where you heard that sound. Christine, can you remember what that was?
Yes, I do. It was 친구 이름이 무엇입니까?
That's right. Now, every time Scott was introduced to a new friend, he asked the friend's name by saying 친구 이름이 무엇입니까? Now, the word to remember here is 무엇. It's like what in English. Remember 누구? 누구 meant who. Now, 무엇 means what. Now, to answer questions like 친구 이름이 무엇입니까? You say your friend's name followed by 입니다. For example, if your friend's name is 이미영, then you would say 이미영입니다. Or if your friend's name is Peter, you would say Peter입니다. Now let's listen to some native speakers for some more words, okay?
친구. 친구 이름이 무엇입니까? 김명수입니다. 개. 저것이 무엇입니까? 개입니다. 책. 저것이 무엇입니까? 책입니다.
Okay, it's time for us to practice now. When you're introduced to a new friend, the first thing you ask is his or her name. Now repeat after me. 친구 이름이 무엇입니까? Scott?
친구 이름이 무엇입니까?
Christine?
친구 이름이 무엇입니까?
Good. Now, Christine, your friends are going to be introducing you to a lot of new Korean friends. Now, if you want to know what their names are, what would you say?
I would say 친구 이름이 무엇입니까?
Very good. Now, Scott, I hear you're learning Korean on Arirang TV's Let's Speak Korean with a friend of yours. 그 친구 이름이 무엇입니까?
Ah, Christine입니다.
That's right. You say your friend's name followed by 입니다. Now, let's try some other sentences with the word 무엇. Here we have an example. This is 책 in Korean. 책 means book. What is this would be 이것은 무엇입니까? Repeat after me. 이것은 무엇입니까? Scott,
이것은 무엇입니까?
Christine.
이것은 무엇입니까?
Now, Christine, how would you answer my question? 이것은 무엇입니까?
책입니다.
Good. Then, Scott, how would you ask, what is that?
That would be 저것은 무엇입니까?
That's right. Christine, repeat after me. 저것은 무엇입니까?
저것은 무엇입니까?
Then, Scott, look over there. 저것은 무엇입니까?
Okay, the mask.
Mm-hmm.
달입니다.
Excellent.
Okay.
Do you know what they're used for?
Yeah, they're used in traditional plays, aren't they?
Right, they are.
Okay.
Masks. You're quite good in Korean culture, too.
Lucky guess.
To answer questions with 무엇, like 이것은 무엇입니까? Or 저것은 무엇입니까? All you need to say is the name of the object followed by 입니다. Now let's take a look at focus in one for some more new words, okay?
이것은 무엇입니까?
꽃입니다.
이 꽃의 이름은 무엇입니까?
장미입니다.
그것은 무엇입니까?
인형입니다.
그 인형의 이름이 무엇입니까?
미미입니다.
Now, as you've seen, answers to questions ending with 무엇입니까 involve objects. So you say 이것은 책상입니다, or 저것은 볼펜입니다, or 그것은 꽃입니다. Now you can go even further and ask what the name of a flower is by saying 이 꽃의 이름은 무엇입니까? And if it's a rose, the person would answer 장미입니다. And if it's a carnation, the person would say carnation입니다. The possibility here is endless. But for now, let's take a look at focus in 2 for some more new words. Here we go.
제 이름은 김영수입니다. 저는 회사원입니다. 제 회사의 이름은 아리랑 방송입니다.
Okay, now let's see if Christine understood everything. Did you, Christine?
A few parts, but not everything.
What about you, Scott?
Well, can we watch it one more time?
On one condition, I get to ask you questions afterwards.
You do that anyway.
Let's take a closer look, okay? This one's for Scott.
제 이름은 김영수입니다. 저는 회사원입니다. 제 회사의 이름은 아리랑 방송입니다.
All right, now it's time for a test. You ready for this?
Okay.
Christine, 이분의 이름은 무엇입니까?
김영수입니다.
Good. Scott, 이분은 학생입니까?
아니요, 회사원입니다.
That's right. A negative answer starts with 아니요. So repeat after me. 아니요, 회사원입니다. Scott,
아니요, 회사원입니다.
Christine.
아니요, 회사원입니다.
회사원입니다. One more time.
회사원입니다.
Very good. Christine, 이분의 회사 이름은 무엇입니까? Maybe you can help her out with this one, Scott?
회사 이름?
아리랑 방송.
Okay. 아리랑 방송.
Okay?
입니다.
입니다.
Very good. After me this time. 아리랑 방송입니다. Scott?
아리랑 방송입니다.
Christine?
Arirang 방송입니다.
That's the name of my employer, too. What a coincidence. Hmm.
Wow.
Well, now let's go to Vivian for today's lesson on Korean alphabet.
Hello, I'm Vivian Kwan. Well, last time I told you how to say the name of this corner, right? That's right, and do you remember it? It's called 가나다라. Well, today we're going to take a look at the consonants 미음 and 비읍. And first, we'll take a look at 미음 first. All right, when 미음 is combined with a vowel, it makes the M sound. So, 미음 plus the vowel a is 마. 미음 plus 어 is 머. 미음 plus e is 미. Now, 미음 plus o is 모. And 미음 plus u is mu. That's right. Very simple, right? Okay, then our next consonant, 비읍, is a little bit simpler too. Now, when 비읍 is combined with a vowel, it makes the B sound in English. Okay, let's take a look. 비읍 plus the vowel a is 파. 비읍 plus 어 is 버. 비읍 plus e is 비. 비읍 plus o is 보. And 비읍 plus u is, that's right, it's 부. Very good. Now remember, I told you that there are 14 basic consonants in Hangul. And so far, we've studied 기역, 니은, 디귿, 리을, 미음, 비읍, and the silent consonant 이응. So that's 7 already. All right. So tonight, why don't you take a look at a Korean book or a Korean newspaper? I'm sure you recognize several syllables there. Okay, then I'll come back with more consonants and vowels next time. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Vivian. Is it already time to say goodbye? My, how time flies. But we learned a lot of useful expressions today, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Especially how to say what is this? 이것은 무엇입니까? Because now if you don't know what something is in Korean, you can just ask your Korean friend instead of using a dictionary.
That's
You
a
can
good point.
Point to something, ask 이것은 무엇입니까? They'll
And
answer.
they'll tell you what it is.
Exactly.
Right. What did you think, Christine?
Well, actually, I'm always in a situation where if I want to know somebody's name, I'm always saying 이름. I don't know how to say a full sentence. So now if I want to know someone's name, I can say 친구 이름이 무엇입니까?
Very good. A group of foreigners in Seoul were surveyed, and when they were asked what it is that they wanted to do the most in Korea, they answered they wanted to study Korean. Now you can do that at home with Let's Speak Korean. Don't forget to practice what we learned today with your Korean friends, and we'll be back tomorrow to see you again. 안녕히 계세요.
안녕히 계세요.